training that you saw last week?
Yeah, so far it's been a good week. We've had a couple lighter days earlier in the week and a good training session yesterday. We worked on some things tactically, but yeah, we're focused. I think everyone understands what's ahead of us, and we'll be ready for Sunday.
NYCFC has already said if they can get a goal early, that they think it'll change the series. I'm assuming that y'all are going to expect them to come out guns blazing. So how do you approach that kind of situation?
Yeah, we can say the same thing. I mean, if we score a goal early, it puts them in a very, very bad place. So, we're going to have the home crowd with us. It's going to be a lot of hype going into the game, and I'm sure the energy is going to be high. So I expect both teams to come out strong in the very beginning, it to be fast-paced and teams not taking chances, playing it behind a little bit. But yeah, the first goal is obviously very important.
What did you guys learn from last week's game that you're going to take into this one about NYCFC?
Just that we need to match the physicality of things. We did that in leg one. At home, it's going to be a little bit different because the field's bigger, but we have to be ready for the 50-50 challenges, to play the physical card when we need to. We also learned that we don't have to play the prettiest of games to get a result. If we have to play in behind and we have to play long and win second balls and attack from there, then that's what we're going to do. It's all about getting results here in the playoffs, no matter how it comes.
Was losing, unfortunately losing the Supporter Shield just a valuable lesson for the team about intensity and winning ugly that you can apply to the playoffs and the MLS Cup?
Yeah, I think that we've learned from that loss, coupled with the New York loss. 2 games where we were disappointed, not only with the outcome, but the performance, the energy, everything. And we've said that before, and it only is valuable if you can learn from it and use it. And I think that we have, but we've only done it for half. So we need to realize the intensity that we brought for leg one and make sure that we bring that for leg two.
Torrent apparently was quoted on the MLS site yesterday as saying that they're not going to tolerate Atlanta United diving in situations if y'all have the lead. I was curious if you had any reaction to that.
We'll stay out of the pool. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't have any. I mean, it's a physical game. There were fouls on both sides. There's guys doing stuff off the ball, and everything gets seen, and not everything gets punished. But it's the playoffs. You expect it. It's going to be physical, and we're going to make sure that we look after our own guys, and whatever that takes, we're going to do it together.
Speaking of learning from past experiences, is there anything you can take away from having just been in the situation in the playoffs last year, playing at home in that game against Columbus Crew, that you can take into this game? Just does it give that experience kind of lend itself any extra added benefit to you guys?
Yeah, I think just that there's no guarantee. Being a home playoff game doesn't mean that you're going to win. We saw it last night as well, and even though they were losing going into the game, for us, it's the same thing. Last year it was a one and done, and you think you've got a big advantage playing at home, especially with our crowd. But there's no guarantees on any given night that you're going to be able to score, that things are going to go your way, and we have to understand the same thing. Even though we've got a lead and we're playing at home and things are looking good right now, things can change very quickly. You never know, and so we need to make sure that we bring it and are up for the occasion.
This town and sports haven't had the best kind of relationship with one another, especially when it comes to playoff games. Is there any kind of, not trepidation, I don't know if that's the right word, but is there any tense moments between kind of the way that the crowd interacts with these games in the playoffs, do you think? Does it not add pressure, but is there more angst, amongst the players with, that added pressure in the playoffs?
Yeah, no, I think that the benefit is most of us aren't from Atlanta, so we haven't been accustomed to what's gone on here in professional sports for a while, so that aspect doesn't really bother us. I think that anytime you're in a playoff game and you're playing out of the back, or you're playing it back to Brad, the crowd gets a little nervous just because of what's at stake. that's not going to change the way that we play. We're going to do what we think is best to win the game, and hopefully that involves playing forward more than backwards. But we understand that it's more nerve-wracking to watch, and I understand that. And I'm glad that our fans are into it and care so much for us, and most fans are like that. But hopefully we can give them a little satisfaction and ease their nerves early on.
Julian said earlier this week that y'all have been practicing penalties a little bit more than usual in anticipation of the playoffs. I was curious if you're among that group, and what's your success rate?
Yeah, I've been practicing. I mean, I expect to be on the field if penalties arrive, so I have to be ready to take one. I don't know if I'm going to bump Joseph out of the top 5 in order to take a penalty, but I'll be ready when my number calls. And yeah, I've been doing all right.
You got a cool routine before you approach the ball?
Yeah, I've been working on it. It's a little different in training when you take multiple ones in a row, because then it just becomes a mind game with the goalie. But I think I know where I'm going to go if I take one.
But do you have a shot? You have one shot this year, right? I think you've taken one shot.
I think in your career here, one shot attempt, I think.
Shoot. I have to double that.